Broadcast on the beat.
The Bearded Bros podcast on the Titan Sports Network. Two bearded dudes sitting in a pod, talking sports, never really bored, from football to basketball.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Of course, finally back from being sick for a week. I'm Dustin with the Bearded Bros podcast on the Tired Sports Network. It is good to be back. Like I said, it's been a week since we've had a show because I was out for a little bit sick. But we got a pretty big show. We got to catch up on some stuff. We got a guest with us tonight. She is playing basketball. She's a freshman going to Kent State. So that's going to be fun and exciting. We're going to chat with her. Football is here. So there's obviously a lot to talk about. You got a preseason week 1 has came upon and passed, so we'll kind of recap that a little bit. Talk college ball, the preview, the top 25, and then we have the UFC 319 also this coming up weekend. So we'll talk with that. But with that being said, let's we're going to get our guest in here with us.
Said our hustle's work is never through. We making it 'cause we making more. The only thing we know how to do. Said it's the only thing we know how to do. Work hard, play hard, work hard, play hard. We work hard, play hard, keep hard.
Hey, Rylee, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good. Sorry for the delay and confusion on my end.
You're
First
okay.
time, but I'm happy you're here. Happy to have you on.
Me too. Thank you for having me.
Let's just go back. Let's go back to those little days of playing ball. Let's just kind of talk about all the sports you played growing up and kind of what led you to where you are now.
Yeah, so I actually played softball for the longest time. It was considerably my main sport, but I've always played basketball on the side as well. I started playing in leagues, I would say probably when I was in like kindergarten, maybe first grade, like just those like little kid leagues. And then I started playing AAU and like traveling around the country in fourth grade. And then from there on out, I've just been fully dedicated to it. AAU kind of just really switched my mind and showed me what basketball really is. So it was definitely the way I wanted to go.
Yeah. So AAU, when you say travel, like literally all over the country, more kind of on that East Coast side.
Well, I mean, we've been to Maine. We've been to Florida. We were gonna actually have a couple tournaments in Puerto Rico, but we didn't end up doing that because of COVID.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, no, it would have been awesome. No, I mean, we've been over to Michigan, definitely more on the east and like Indiana, Kentucky, like definitely more on like the east to like middle of the like I don't know, middle of the country area. But
yeah, like Middle East,
yeah, definitely. But I mean, I've been traveling. I've probably been to most of the states on the East Coast just from AAU, whether it be having a tournament there or having to stop halfway.
Yeah.
Gets you traveling places.
So you said you played softball.
Yeah.
When did you stop and why did you stop?
So I stopped actually going into high school. Like going into my freshman year. Our coach didn't really let us play multiple sports. It was more of I mean, you were welcome to, like you're allowed to, but like missing preseason like it doesn't really help you. And I knew as a freshman I wanted to play. So instead of missing a ton of like, I don't know, open gyms or like optional workouts, I just stopped playing softball because I knew it wasn't going to be the route I wanted to take in the long run. So it wasn't really worth it for me to risk my basketball career.
Right. So you decided just to go to one sport, make that your complete focus in high school.
Yes.
What was it about basketball that I guess my question is, made you love it more than softball?
The competitive nature, I would just say, I mean, obviously all sports can be very competitive, but I feel like the faster pace type games, they get a little bit more intense, a little bit more competitive. There's just a lot more drive going into those types of games. And I feel like there's a lot of different types of work that you can put into basketball, like your physical strength, your conditioning shape, like shooting wise, ball handling. There's just so many different parts of it that I feel like all are up pace and like on the go, as opposed to more, I don't know, tedious and like slower moving workouts.
Right. So you chose, basketball. At what point during your high school career did you really think that you were good enough and you put the work in to be able to play at the next level?
I actually knew going into high school.
Okay.
I got my first Division 1 offer going into my freshman year.
Going
Um,
hold on, going into your freshman year. So you could say like eighth grade,
yeah,
going into
kind of,
ninth.
yeah. But the summer going into my freshman year is when I picked up my first offer. So I kind of knew going into that, like, that was obviously going to be my main focus. Also
Hmm.
because I feel like there's just all like you can just constantly be getting better with basketball. Like softball is like sometimes it's you have it or you don't. Like I feel like there's a lot
Right,
of things that's like I don't know if you're not strong enough, like you're not going to be hitting the ball like
right,
350 yards. Like that's just not how it's going to work.
right.
Um, but I don't know. I feel like it was just more the competitive nature that drove me to it.
Sorry, my kids are in the background screaming.
No, you're
Uh,
fine.
um, who was your first offer from? Who was that first offer?
Quinnipiac. It's a school in Connecticut.
Okay, yeah, I've heard of them. So when did it? When did the recruiting or the people looking at you really take off for you? Like, at what point in your high school career did you
I would
start?
say going into my sophomore year.
Okay,
That was when I picked up. I want to say a handful from the MAAC. I there was like Lafayette or and even honestly, the Patriot League. That was when I started picking. I had like Lafayette. I think who else is in that? Like Colgate. Uh,
yeah.
and that I just started getting like those types of ones, and then going into my junior year, like going into it.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have still technically been a sophomore. That's when I picked up a bunch from the Mac, and I really liked the style of the Mac. I had a couple A10 as well, but I really liked the way the Mac played, so that was kind of all I needed. And then my junior year, like halfway through, actually, it was January 2nd of my junior season in high school. I tore my ACL, so that was kind of the end of recruiting for me because I missed out on the whole like big summer. But it worked out in my favor.
So, and what year was that you tore your ACL?
My junior year,
So that was your junior year. And
yeah,
so how was that like for you? You've gone through, you've had all these schools, you're being recruited, and then you get hurt.
yeah. I
What is
mean,
that like for you?
it was hard. And I mean, I was setting a lot of records at my school. Um, I was the I was the youngest 1,000 point scorer at my school. Like I scored. It was like 3 games in to junior years when I hit 1,000 points, and then it was like next game I tore my ACL. So that too, like, kind of crushed me because like I was really trying to set as many records as I could and just like put my name in the books. But I mean, it also was a blessing in disguise because if I would have gotten other offers and stuff, like maybe it would have screwed up my recruiting process. I don't know, but I'm happy with where I am. So I think that that was almost my sign to go there. Uh,
Right.
Something like
So
that.
did you get to play your senior year because
Yeah,
of that
I
injury?
did.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was back.
So,
I was back in 8 months, so I was back in October. I got to do all of our
okay.
preseason stuff too,
Yeah,
which was
so you
nice.
got to come in right around it was starting.
Yep.
Yeah, yep. So how many total offers did you end up having when it was all said and done? Do you remember?
I would say close to 20,
Okay.
like 17 to 20-ish around there.
So
I'm not exactly sure.
what was it for Kent State that separated from the rest that felt like that was the place for you?
Honestly, the way they played was very similar to how I've played throughout my whole life. So it just kind of seemed like a good fit for me. So many of the girls were like so welcoming to me. I kept in touch with a lot of them before I even committed, to be honest. The coaching staff was super welcoming, super excited to talk to me, like always seemed super interested in what I had to say. And not just like, throwing around small talk. They like genuinely wanted to get to know me. And that was a big thing for me. And also all the girls like really spoke highly of the coach, which is another big thing for me. But it wasn't necessarily even as much the campus as was it just like the team itself. But then obviously it's a campus style, like it's a college town. And then it's not too far from home. So it just kind of checked all my boxes.
Oh, that's awesome. So what's the? I'm assuming you've had off season workouts going on this summer.
Yeah. So we moved in June 22nd, and that started workouts. And then we've been there since. And then I got home like August 1st. I want to say I came home. And we've had a little bit of a break, and then I actually go back tomorrow. To go back up for preseason workouts.
What are kind of your expectation goals going into next season? And then I guess another question to piggyback off of that, what's your expected playing time next year? Is it kind of come in, work hard, kind of see where you're at in the rotation?
Yeah, I would definitely say that just because we do have we have a couple girls injured right now, so I feel like, and a couple of them are guards, so it could definitely play into the factor of like where we're at, like playing time with freshmen, playing time with like even certain rotations to begin with. But yeah, I think that we're going to be good with or without our injured players. Obviously, with them back, we'd be a lot stronger. But I think that we have enough adversity where we can move around it and figure out ways to win games.
What kind of a player would you describe yourself to be? Are you like a pass first? Three? Are you just like to shoot? Or are you kind of just all around want to do a little bit of everything?
I guess I consider myself like a multi-level because I'm not just like a shooter, but I also don't just like to drive. And then like if I'm not scoring, like I'll play defense. Like I feel like I just kind of do what I need to do. Like if there's been games in high school where I've scored 35, 37 points. Like, but then there's also been games where I've scored like 19, like around that. Like it's just, it can vary depending on what, like if I'm being face guarded or something, like I'm gonna set my team up for points. I'm gonna set them up to score. But then if I'm open, if I would like to score,
you're gonna shoot
would
it.
like to. Yeah.
What's the most you've scored in a game?
High school, 38. But then in AAU, I missed out on I should have had a lot more my junior season. I was kind of rolling, but I scored 38 in my junior year. But then AAU, I've had games where I've been close to 50.
That's a ton of points.
Yeah.
A lot of points. You racked up the points up over
numbers.
there.
We used to put up 100-point games. So
what's the AA ball? I mean, is that, I know down here, like Casey, by the way, my co-host, he is an how many years basketball coach, Casey? How many years did you coach?
I coached 16 years.
So I know that down here, I know AAU is big.
Yeah.
Especially in the Dallas area. Is it pretty big up there as well?
Yeah.
In those big areas up there?
Yeah, you don't get much recruiting out of high school. I mean, you do, but you pick those looks up from from AAU, and then they'll just come watch you in high school. I mean, it's kind of, you need one to pull it to the other.
Is that where you think most of yours came from? Would be
Absolutely,
AAU?
Yeah, 100%. They would be after like big tournaments, like after national tournaments, like especially whenever it was after June 1st of my junior year, or going into my junior year. I'm sorry. Whenever I was becoming a junior, like that summer, that was my biggest summer. But June 1st after that, they could just call you. So it'd be like after big tournaments or something like that. Like I'd be on my way home and just like in the car on my way home from tournaments, and that would be when I would get a call. So it's definitely, I would say, hands down, the place you get the most off.
Did you, in like maybe your own recruiting efforts to get yourself out there more, and I ask this to everyone because I've learned over this almost year of doing this, that it seems like Twitter or X is such a big recruiting platform. did you ever use that to get videos out there to reach out, or was it kind of just text, word of mouth,
I
phone
mean,
calls?
I would post my highlights, but that's about it. I would never like directly send them to coaches. I know a lot of people do. A lot of people will directly reach out to them and try to share their film. I've never done that. I've kind of always just put it out there for the public knowledge. And then coaches will either DM me on that and ask me for my phone number, or they'll already have talked to my coach. He'll give them my number and then they'll talk to me.
Okay. Well, you're a first. I'm not even
Really?
kidding you. No, seriously. Everyone that I've spoken with, I mean, almost every guest and going from high school has used X to recruit. Which
Interesting.
is, yeah. So that's why I always ask, and I have finally found someone that didn't
Yeah,
really use it much.
I wasn't huge on it, no.
Okay.
Justin,
Well-
when you're that good, you don't need to.
Well, I mean, that is true. I mean, you're over here dropping 50. I guess you don't need X. You just need to go play. That is true, Casey. Putting up the points you have. I mean, you don't need X. You don't need Elon Musk as apt to do that. So what all records did you set at your high school when it was all said and done?
Ooh.
I'm assuming there's a lot of them by that reaction.
Well, a lot of them were like, they're like different. So I was named the most decorated player to come out of Upper St. Clair. And now I don't know if they ever came out with it, but I was in the running for the most decorated player in the state, like state history. But I was like state player of the year, or not state player, in the state, like top 5 player of the year my freshman year, sophomore year, and junior year. And then senior year, I was second. There was another girl, they won states. She was state player of the year. I was in the running for Miss Pennsylvania basketball. I made the top 5 for that. I was the youngest 1,000-point scorer in history. I was a Gatorade player nominee.
Sounds like you have all the accolades. They're all there.
there was a good bit. And then, but the one, I was the first sophomore in like 20 something years to be on like the Pennsylvania Fab 5. It's like the top 5 players in the state, or not in the state, in our section, like in Pittsburgh area.
In the region, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, that's truly impressive.
Thank you.
So I always like to ask this kind of at
Yeah.
the end, just to kind of see where people are. If you got that one phone call from any school in the nation that you could go play at, and it could be where you're at, who would that be and why? Like the dream school.
Like UConn. I mean, I feel like that's a pretty.
I mean,
one.
there's nothing wrong with UConn.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love my school. I mean, they would be like, if they called me again, like even after I would go through the recruiting process, like I would say yes to them every time. But I mean, obviously, like I'm not Paige. Like I'm not gonna go play at UConn.
Right.
But I mean, that's like, I feel like that's every girls basketball player's dream, or that, or like University of Southern California, or like South Carolina, like any of those 3. Honestly, I feel like
She did not say Texas, Justin.
I know. It's okay. It's all
Sorry.
right. No. Hey, there's no hard feelings. I mean, a lot of
I'm
people.
sorry.
don't
Those are
say-
just the like top 3 big teams that stick out in my head that I feel like
I-
most people wouldn't hesitate very long to say yes to go in there.
We're gonna get one soon. It's all right. Who did they lose to? Did they lose to South Carolina? By the way, yes, they did. They did lose to South Carolina this year. That's who knocked them out. I don't blame you for choosing any of those schools. I mean, obviously, any of those 3. I mean, they're some of the best. Actually, the best. UConn. I mean, the best coach to ever do it, if not one. Well, is there anything that we missed? And if not, what's some advice you'd maybe give to young kids coming up about maybe not giving up, or just kind of continuing on and with how you did with your sporting journey?
Yeah, I mean, well, I actually didn't start as a freshman. It caused a lot of problems. I'm not gonna lie. Not with like me and my family, but the rest, like, people were contacting my coach asking why I wasn't starting and everything. And every minute that I was on the court, I made a presence. I made it clear that I was on the court. I did what I needed to do. So I made him not be able to take me off the court. So I feel like if you go out and you just bust your butt and don't give your coach a reason to take you off the court, it doesn't matter what opportunity you're given. It's what you do with the opportunity that you have. So I don't know. I mean, I worked my way from not starting to being the leading scorer on our team as a freshman. And I just feel like there's a lot, like, when you're given any opportunity, you got to make the most of it, because sometimes you're not given very many.
I mean, I think that's great advice for any young athlete, especially for someone who didn't start coming into their high school career playing basketball. Well, I appreciate it so much for you coming on.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
And I'm gonna keep in touch with you, and
Yes,
then
absolutely.
maybe next year after your
Hold
first
on.
season. What?
Uh-oh.
You did this last time.
Oh yeah, I did do this last time. Casey.
Very rude.
I know
You have a basketball player on here, and you don't let the basketball coach ask any dang questions.
All right, go for it, Casey. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
honky.
I know.
So you mentioned Kent State was similar to the system you were in.
Yeah.
What is that system? Is it a run and gun? Is it a Princeton? Is it a man-to-man?
Yeah, so I would say, like, our defense, we're big on man-to-man. Try not to switch. Obviously, everybody just wants to move their feet and stay with their girl. That's kind of how I've been playing it. We have a shell type defense that, again, I'm very familiar with. Offensively, they want to play fast. They want to get up and down the court. They don't want to run sets if they don't have to. Like, they just want to play basketball. And I mean, that's kind of the biggest thing for me. Like, the difference between high school and AAU for me was playing in AAU where we're less set. I mean, don't get me wrong, we have a good amount of sets, but when you're not forced into a set and you're allowed to just kind of pave your own path, I feel like that's when you get the best results. And that's like our coach's mentality as well. He doesn't want us to have to pull back instead of a play. He just wants us to get transition, go, outrun the other team, work your butt off, hustle your butt off, dive on the floor, just things like that. Things like that.
Got you. Were you a single sport athlete?
Growing up, no. I played soccer, football, basketball, softball. I was a little dancer, did volleyball, gymnastics, all that type of stuff. Just all the things that every little kid, wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
Middle school, I was softball, basketball, and I think it was volleyball. Yeah, that is the one I stuck with. And then going into high school, I had to quit softball because I knew basketball was going to be my main focus. Now, I will tell you, I did golf my junior year whenever I tore my ACL. I was on the golf team.
Did you like that?
I loved it. I love golf. Me and my dad, I used to do little competitions all the time when I was a kid, like ages literally 10 to 14, like literally going up into high school. I would just do little fun. I never played competitively, but I would just do those little $10 contest things, and I loved it. I would go play with my dad all the time. Would go to the range. I loved it. So when I got the opportunity to play, I was like, I might as well take it.
Yeah,
Nice. I like it.
I act like I'm good at golf, but I'm not.
I'm solid on the course. You mentioned your high school high was 38. That's ironic because that was mine.
Really?
Yes. And I want to know, because I'm pretty sure I still hold the records for threes in a game.
Oh,
what is your most threes in a game? Because mine is 10.
Oh, mine's 9. You got me.
Yes. Just want to. The old guys
You got
still
me on
got
that.
something on these young whippersnappers.
You still got me on that one.
I went 10 for 10 that night. So
Dang, look at you go.
that was a nice night.
Did you play in college?
What?
Did you play in college?
No, I decided to join the United States Navy out of high school.
Oh, good for you.
So I had a couple of places that invited me to try to walk on UTEP, small school in Kansas, but I didn't want to go into student debt.
Yeah, no, I got you.
And I just got doing my master's because the government's still paying for my education.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
I saw that. By the way, congratulations on that. Casey.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
Don't
congratulations.
make this about
Awesome.
me.
I know. Just had to say that before I forgot.
From the school that is your mortal enemy, by the way. I walked at Texas A&M. So.
Oh boy.
Yeah. But guess who you got to call to come in to help you tonight? The Aggie.
Yeah, that.
With your experience with AAU versus high school, I've made this argument on my podcast before, and for someone who just got out of experiencing both, I've made the argument that AAU and a lot of these sports outside of football, I'll say, eventually sports are going to be privatized at the high school level. Like it's going to be more of a European model versus the high school athletics model. Do you see a lot of athletes leaning towards that way? Because you don't have any grade requirements. There's no discipline actions from the school.
Yeah.
I've down here in Texas, I don't know if you knew Bryce Griggs. He left Hightower and went to a prep school. They paid him like $1 million to come play. What do you think about that?
No, I couldn't agree more, actually. I think that, I know I've grown up, even before they put age restrictions on like AAU, like when it was just like, oh, 5th grade or like 6th grade. Like I remember we were playing girls that were walking in and they were like touching the ceiling, like with their hands when they walked in, and we're like barely passing like 5 foot. And it was just, I feel like it's always been a problem, but especially now because of all the prep schools, all the like IMG boarding academies, like it just makes it so much easier for people to be like, oh, well, yeah, I was a freshman over here, but if I don't know what they're learning down here, so I'm just going to be a freshman again. Like, it's just so easy for them to do it. And I feel like the more available that is, the more likely high school basketball is going to become very European, very like older people, like literally, like, I don't even know how to like describe it. How old? I know we have a limit on our ages, but then kids would just go till they can and then go to a prep school. So I feel like that's, I don't know if I would necessarily say it's like unfair. I would just say that there's definitely should be some like boundaries.
All right. I like that. That's a phenomenal answer. Have you decided what you're majoring in? I don't know did you already ask that, Dustin?
I did not actually.
But I'm thinking I'm going to major in business, probably go into either administration area-ish. That's what my mom does, and she really likes it, and she's really successful, so figure I may as well follow a little bit. And also, if I don't end up wanting to go into administration, business is pretty big. I feel like I have a lot of routes.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll say this, being in the sports world and you playing, Division I, keeping best advice from an old guy just trying to break into the sports industry after 2 different careers is keep those contacts and keep those phone numbers, reach out to people every once in a while, just let them know you're thinking about them. And as you're going through your college career, wherever it takes you, that stuff will pay off in the long run.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. Absolutely. Connections are everything. Everything.
And there's an old saying, it's not what you know, it's who you know, but that's not accurate. It's not accurate. It's not what you know, it's who knows you.
Yep. I again couldn't agree more. Because you can know everybody in the world, but if they don't know you well enough to want to help you out, what are you getting out of it?
Exactly.
Yeah, I know their name and face, but they don't know mine, so it's just kind of awkward. I know exactly what you mean.
Pretty much. I had that happen to me a couple of days ago. I'll tell Dustin about it.
Well, Casey,
that's all I had, Dustin. Those were the ones I wrote down since I was a late invitee to the party.
Yeah, that's not on you. Well, Rylee, we appreciate you coming on. Like I said, I'm gonna keep up with you. I'm gonna check in with you probably like midway through the season, and then maybe even at the end of it, and maybe have you back on to kind of talk about how your first season went there and whatnot, and then I'll just keep in touch with you.
Oh, sounds great. Thank you so much again. This was so fun.
Thank you. Yes, thank you.
Take care.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Mr. Casey.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the network MVP is here. You're welcome.
I hated to text you because
I'm the greatest.
Yeah, because you're the greatest. That's exactly why.
Oh,
But yeah, I appreciate you hopping on, man.
of course, man. Of course. I was
congrats on the
when I first got
graduation.
on.
What did you get your master's in?
Sports management.
Oh, you did. Okay.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
that is
yeah.
that's
So
awesome.
the whole I know someone, but they don't recognize you. So I sent a photo to you guys. I was at a studio a few days ago, basically auditioning, and there's a station down here called The Bull, which is a huge country music station down here in Houston.
Mm-hmm. I think I've heard of it.
Yeah, and well, the guy who runs it, who's like in charge of all their programming, good dude. I met him at Vet Fest a couple years ago. We both have a mutual friend that he worked with that I went to high school with. And so like I thought we like kind of like, all right, cool, you know. Well, when I was up there, he was in studio. It wasn't on air. So I walked in and he kind of looked at me, and that first look was like, what the hell are you coming in my studio for? That was the first look. And then he like kind of was like, oh, and I shake his hands. I'm like, how do I know you? And I was like, ouch. I was like, that one stung, my man. That one stung. So, but it's all good. It's all good.
Maybe he just have been too long. Maybe
I mean, I'll tell you this much. He went from having nice dark hair 2 years ago to having a damn near gray beard and hair. I was like, this job is killing you, my man.
Yeah,
killing you.
In only 2 years. Woo!
I know. I was like, these hours must be rough on you. So, anyway.
Man, we're gonna start off with a little segment that I usually do. Well, I usually call it the rank that segment, but it's usually a little different every week, and it's actually a basketball one. So who other than you to have on? So I'm gonna put it up here, and I'm just gonna put it up here. All right, Casey. So you have $15 to build your starting five, and all these players are 25 and under. Now you don't have to use all 15, but obviously you can, but you can't go over. What are you doing?
I would take number one. It's bull crap that Cooper Flag isn't on here. That would have been my first pick. I'd take Banchero from Orlando.
Okay.
Probably go Cade Cunningham as well. That puts me at 9, so I got 6 left. I'll go Seguin from the Rockets.
All right.
And then give me Darius Garland.
Okay. So I'm obviously going to go Victor.
And Castle. I already know.
Yeah. I think he's a steal for $1. I mean, I like Jalen. I like Jalen Duren and Dyson Daniels, but with Stephon Castle being at $1, I mean, that'd be a steal. He should definitely not be worth $1 on a board like this. But I'll definitely take those two. You picked Seguin. See, when I do this, I don't pick who anyone else has picked just to kind of keep it.
I just realized I completely missed Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, but I
would take Anthony Edwards over Cade Cunningham. Let me change that.
All right. Yeah, you definitely can. I think I'm going to take Jalen Williams at the $4 slot there. You know what? I don't know. It's either him or Jaron. No, I mean, he's a champion. I do like Jaron Jackson Jr., but I don't know. I'm gonna keep Jalen Williams. Give me. This is gonna sound really stupid, but obviously you're bidding a starting five, so I feel like I got an alien up top. I kind of got a 3 and D guy in Jalen. I got Stephon Castle who will play the point. Not that I think he will. He plays more of a shooting guard, but I think he can play the point. So give me Tyler Hero. I know that sounds like I have LaMelo and Chet, but I'm wanting like a shooting specialist, and I'll take him. And then this one's tough because I like the 4 remaining in the 2 slot. I like Thompson, I like Green, and I like Scotty. But I think out of all of them, I can get more defense and the same amount of offense out of probably a Min Thompson. Maybe not as much offense, but I can definitely get more defense. So give me a Min Thompson.
All right. I would have went with Jalen Green out of your choices on that one. But
yeah, Jalen. Yeah. Yeah. So now the question is, whose team wins?
Mine.
Who's guarding Victor?
You don't have
They'll
to.
say you don't have to.
Yeah, let him shoot threes. You'll win the game. His percentage ain't that good.
I mean, it's not. It's not bad, but so far up until his NBA career.
I mean, Seguin is going to be the one guarding him. I mean, Seguin is a very underrated, and what I mean by underrated, he's an underrated big man because. What did this fool just say about my shoulders? Did you just insult my shoulders, you punk?
Well, I don't know which one it is. It's either Evan or Dom.
Yo, man,
Casey needs to work on his shoulders. He's gonna.
That's BS because you see my workout videos every day. So don't even try to clown me like that, fruit pot.
Oh man, that's funny.
And then it'd be better when we not in this setup, when it's just when the screen's bigger, shoulders get bigger.
If you don't think Casey needs to be one, I'm never wearing my cutoff again because I don't even work out. So.
Yeah, and you know what? Here's the thing about it. I came in out of the bullpen, not warmed up. Okay. All right. So,
oh man,
I was really about to watch the new episode of MTV's The Challenge tonight. Me and my wife were just sitting on the couch.
They still make that show?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. It's called Vets versus New Threats this year.
So some of the OGs are on there, I'm assuming.
Some of them, yeah. The CT's on there, Cara Maria, Johnny Bananas. CT looks like
he's got to be about close to getting to 40, 50 years old, ain't he?
Oh, they're in there. He's in his 40s. Wow. I'll tell you this much. Like, there is a show that I've always wanted to go on, and it was MTV's The Challenge.
Right,
like,
it's that one?
Yes. Like, now I will put this out there in the universe. My wife already knows this. When I was sad and lonely and depressed, I even applied for Love is Blind. Okay.
Why, you're dead serious?
I'm dead serious.
Wait,
I got online and applied for Love is Blind. Okay. So thank God that didn't work out. But anyways, is the MTV's The Challenge, man, it's competitive, it's athleticism, it's strategy. Yeah. I loved it, man. And I never applied to get on the Real World or Road Rules or anything like that, which is kind of like the
that's what I remember watching. I think the challenge was kind of
it was all the people from those shows. Now they've branched out over the last 5-6 years and brought people from Big Brother and all that stuff. So Your computer lagged? Oh, sorry. Get better equipment, jerk.
Yeah, I think whenever I stopped watching the real world stuff, the challenge stuff was starting to get big. But I do know what it is. I just cannot believe like CT and Johnny Bananas and them are still doing
Yeah,
that
man.
stuff.
So CT a few years ago came back and he was like he had the dad bod and
Is he still a nutcase?
nah, he's calmed down a ton. Like he's nowhere
Oh,
near
okay.
like he used to
He
be.
used to be
Oh yeah,
crazy,
he
man.
cracked a dude in the face and but like you don't realize how big some of these dudes are on that show. Like CT is like 6'5", and he was like
Nice.
in his prime 230 muscle. You know, I remember Wes. Yes, Wes is one of the great challengers. Good call from the crew. The crew talk sports. I always say crew sports talk.
Wes was he the one that was like really pasty?
Yeah, he had the red beard and
He was super white.
yeah, he always played the politics game. So
yeah.
But I love the challenge, man. And they've mixed it up with international people and things of that nature.
Oh, okay.
Try to keep it fresh. TJ Lavin is still hosting.
No way.
Yes, dude. He has only not hosted like the first 3 years, and when it was Dave Mirra, which was the first 3. I feel like I could be a challenge historian because I've watched like every season. There's a few in there I've kind of got. I was like, all right, this is repetitive, but yeah, man. Cara Maria is on there this year again.
Wow. I may have to check it out. It's been years.
Yeah, it's on. I mean, if you have Paramount, which I'm sure everyone will soon, since UFC is going to it.
Ooh,
yeah. But yeah, man, I love that show. I know that's not topic of this podcast, but
hey, nothing wrong with it.
It's a fun one.
Well, since we're kind of in the basketball realm, and I know this has already happened, but I know I'm late to the party because I've been off for a week. But I know everyone saw that De'Aaron Fox signed his extension with San Antonio. So at first, I didn't know if this was going to get done, and not because I didn't think his commitment to San Antonio, obviously he wanted to come here, or our commitment to him. I honestly thought all the things I've been hearing, whether they're true or not, is they're wanting to see how Harper develops, because they're trying to figure out a way, or they're in their mind, it seems like they're thinking, how can we keep Harper here long term and keep Fox here long term when they play the same position? Is Harper willing to take that kind of the back seat for the foreseeable future until either one, they move on from Fox if it doesn't work out, or for two, he just wants out, whatever the case might be, which he doesn't. His wife's from San Antonio. He wants to be here. I don't see him. I honestly could see him retiring here if that works out. Do you think this is a good move, or is this more a bad move, or do you think this is like a, hey, maybe using him as in a trade package to get something back in return because Harper develops more or develops better and faster than maybe they expect?
Well, if you're the most valuable trade commodity you have is expiring contracts. So I don't know if extending him is really putting him on the plate for a trade.
Right.
What's wrong with being what's wrong with being the sixth man there, rookie?
There's definitely nothing.
That's what I would say is we have a guy who's a proven 20-plus point scorer a game in De'Aaron Fox. You're coming in, you're not the number one. He's potentially to be a 2-3 guy on a franchise team, I think, is Harper.
Right.
He's not a Victor Wembanyama. He's not a Luka Doncic. He's not a LeBron James type coming into your freshman year. So, or rookie year, I should say. So, and roles can always change. I mean, Fox may end up being the spark plug off, after a year or two. But yeah, I think ultimately, it's a good move for the Spurs. You give him comfortability and security, and you're keeping guys around and letting Victor know, hey, we're in this. So
Yeah, I think that was always my worry with Victor is if they didn't start winning or start getting the pieces to work towards winning, that I don't think he would want to leave, but he would be like, is this the play? Question if this was a place for him to win championships. Because ultimately, that's the goal when you come into the NBA. It doesn't matter if you're a Victor LeBron or if you're a Seguin Chet. Your goal is to come in and win championships somewhere. And nowadays, as we know, the league isn't a loyal league. There is no loyalty to a team, and there's no loyalty from the team to you. You're like I've said this so many times, probably since Luka got traded, that anybody in the league is tradable, probably except for Wemby. And I do not think the Spurs would trade him, but I think anybody else in this league is tradable or could get traded. So I think it's a great move. Yeah, I know it's, what is that, close to 50? Well, it's over 50 mil a year, or is it right around that 50 mil a year? I mean, yeah, it seems high, but at the same time, it's how they're all overpaid. So it secures our point guard for the future, at least for the short-term future, with whatever that is. And like I do agree, is maybe him and Harper can switch that role when that time comes, where maybe Fox is on the back end of his career, kind of want to take that 6-man role, because I could see him being. I don't see him being like a Chris Paul, where Chris Paul is almost refusing to play 6-man. He had to do it this year until well, actually, he didn't do it this year. He still played every game for San Antonio. So I could see Fox doing that. I feel like he's a team player. He would sacrifice for the team. So I think it's a great signing, and I'm excited about it. And so kind of talking about that, here's kind of the tip-off. So you got tip-off games Wednesday, August 22nd, then you got December games. Right off the bat, Casey, I don't know how you feel about this, but I hate the OKC Pacers. We just saw 7 games of that. That's a game I don't want to see opening night, unfortunately. For one, because it's going to be a blowout, because they ain't got Halliburton, they ain't got Miles Turner. I don't know. I hate correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure they do that every year. They always do the rematch within that four-game series of the first night. I hate it. I love the Dallas Spurs. That's kind of been a thing for a while now, where they always play opening night. I love it. It's always a good game. Kind of sets the tone for those Texas teams' first night. Knicks Cavaliers. That's an interesting one, because obviously Cleveland. I'm curious to see how they are going to be this year, going into. They were. I would say they were a disappointment in the playoffs. They were arguably the best team in the East last year, at least record-wise, and they couldn't do nothing in the playoffs. I mean, yeah, they won their first round, but they played Miami. I mean, they should have won. And then they get beat up on by who they got beat up on. So, and then obviously Golden State, Denver. I think Denver's going to be a scary team this year. I think this could be the team, if they could keep him intact for a couple years, to keep Joker here, maybe, or maybe help him extend this coming next off season. He is eligible now, but he did not sign an extension yet. And I think, I've said this. I think he's going to see how the season goes, and if they don't win a championship, I think he leaves and heads to Los Angeles to play with Luka. That's my thing. They've always wanted to play together. I think they would be good together, but I think that Denver is really trying to do everything they did everything they could this offseason to keep him here, getting Bruce Brown back, bringing in who did they bring in? The kid from Cam Johnson. They brought him in, right? Yeah, they brought him in from Brooklyn, I believe. So like they've done some offseason moves. So that's going to be a good game. Curious to see how the Warriors are this year coming up season with Jimmy Butler being there full season. I still think they're missing out on the Kuminga thing, but I think he's gone. What I mean by missing out is they didn't take care of him all these years. as in like giving him playing time, because when he did get the chance to play, he was great. And then Christmas night games, I mean, all across the board, it's going to begin. Kind of hate the Cleveland Knicks one. Kind of a big moment. Give us something a little different, because if you look at the rest, they're all different. I'd like to see them maybe play Boston's not on there, which is kind of surprising. Knicks and Boston, which I think they played this past year. So what are kind of your thoughts on these opening night games and kind of going into mid-season form kind of ish in the Christmas Day games? Do you pay attention to any of these opening night games and Christmas Day games?
Well, tip off, I'll start there. I would flip OKC in New York. I would have OKC play Cleveland and New York play the Pacers.
Yeah, I like that one.
Is what I would do. The other one, Spurs, Mavs, and Golden State and Denver. I don't have an issue with those. That's where I would go. Christmas Day, here's where I do have an issue with Christmas Day is they need to flip Golden State and Los Angeles. It should be Luka, the Lakers versus Flag and the Mavericks.
Yes.
That is must-see TV. Then you have KD. Does he still have angst towards Golden State? Does Jimmy Butler want to prove he's the next guy to take them, as the missing piece in Golden State? And so those two I would flip. The rest of them don't necessarily have a problem with, but I just think there is a huge opportunity missed on Christmas Day. I like Christmas Day basketball. I hate that the NFL is trying to encroach on Christmas Day basketball when it's not on a Sunday, especially. So the NFL schedule is out for that day as well, and I mean it's two leagues competing all day essentially, and because of that, I tend to watch NFL versus NBA on that day. The teams playing, which if the Mavericks are playing, I'll be watching that. Or if I'm employed and covering the Rockets, I'll be watching the Rockets, of course. So, so it's one of those things of, I just think that was a huge missed opportunity by the league of Mavericks, Luka, Cooper. That to me, that would have been the marquee matchup.
I wouldn't have even minded, Casey, if you take off. Well, we're kind of already doing this. I would have liked that on opening night. Now that you put it, first game of the season, make them go against each other. But yes, I agree. I think they did.
The first night, those first month or two, the league, there's a saying,
fill it out months.
Yeah, the season don't really start till Christmas, and that's when teams start ramping. Yeah, and you kind of know who you are. You know who's elite, who's not. It'd be really interesting to see if Cooper Flag is doing well, and then they go into that game and they're generally healthy outside of Kyrie Irving. And then of course you add the Anthony Davis piece into there too against LA. I just think it's must see TV, and I think the league got that wrong.
Yeah, they did. I'm glad you pointed that out, because I mean they did. They like to have the light on them, if you know what I mean. When the whole Luka thing happened, it was all about the whole trade, and then here they are following year. They have an opportunity to really do something to really make it pop, and they missed.
Yeah, I mean, Houston. I respect Houston. I know they did the trade for KD and what they're the 2 seed last year, and I think this is the league showing Houston some love. On Christmas Day. I think it's been a while since they played on Christmas Day, but
same for the
it's
Spurs.
against the wrong team. It's against the wrong team. That's all I'll say. Yeah. In matter of fact, if you didn't want to put them against the Lakers or Golden State, put OKC versus Golden State and put the Rockets and Spurs and the old I-10 rivalry. So
I'd like that too.
So I think there's opportunity to be done a little better here for sure.
Yeah, I used to love the Christmas Day games, especially when San Antonio played, because I don't think they do this no more. And if they do, maybe I haven't watched them in a while because I think this is the first year San Antonio has played in a while. They used to come out with Christmas Day jerseys. I remember one of the last times they played, I actually got one because it was like a cream color Spurs jersey. It was cream and black, and I thought it was pretty sweet looking. I think it's a LaMarcus Aldridge one when he was there. They may have played there before then, but it's been a while. So I actually love Christmas Day games because it's just, it is definitely a family day, of course. But it is nice to be able to have that TV on, having sports on in the background all day as you're enjoying family time. So saw that, thought we'd talk about a little basketball, but obviously, Casey, you know what time of year it is. It is football season. It is officially here. I'm excited about it. Did you catch any of the preseason action at all? I know it's preseason. I usually don't do it, but I caught a little bit.
I mean, for my audition, I had to watch the little Houston Texans. I did not catch the Cowboys.
You didn't miss nothing. I watched some of it. There was nothing to miss.
Were the Cowboys on Sunday or Saturday?
It was Saturday because it was Saturday at
Saturday. I was
PM-ish or
I
something
was
like that.
at my graduation. So
yes, you were.
Yeah, so I didn't catch any of the Cowboys game. I rewatched the Texans game because I had to, and that was interesting. I kind of got in the weeds of the Houston Texans guys that kind of stood out. They didn't play many of their starters, but I think the first week of the entire preseason really brought up and was the question of, do you play your guys in the preseason? You only have three preseason games now. I think you do at least
one.
If you go back to when we were growing up, that first game, maybe a quarter at most. Get that first game, everyone be suited out. They at least get one or two series. Then they were done for the night. And then game 2, they get like a quarter and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And then game 3 was considered the dress rehearsal. So they'd get like 3 quarters. And then all the starters would sit the last game. I think the formula now is you play them that first quarter in the first game. You play them a half in the second game, and then you're probably sitting them the third game, unless you're playing the Hall of Fame game that gives you a 4th preseason game. But I think it's highly important because my pops made a point on our show. He really thinks that because these guys aren't playing is leading to more injuries at the beginning of the year.
I caught that. Y'all were talking about that on your show on Thursday when you shut him off because he was pissing you off, and I watched that.
Well, that was a different subject, but
pretty funny still, though. By the way, I thought you were going to break your computer, monitor, laptop, whatever it was. But did you hear or see what happened in Atlanta to that Detroit guy? Okay. So this was on Friday. This was on Friday night. So it was Atlanta and Detroit playing. Someone on Detroit went to tackle. And he was believed to broke his neck. They didn't even finish the game. It was the whole video. You see resemblance of what happened to the guy out of Buffalo. I can't think of his name. I'm no disrespect to him. But when he got hit, his neck buckled, and then he just started to shake, and then he looked dead. They had to revive him. He went to the hospital. I don't think he ended up breaking it, but I can't remember if he did or not. I mean, they didn't even finish the 4th quarter.
You're thinking of DeMar Hamlin.
DeMar Hamlin. Yeah. So it wasn't a chest. It wasn't a chest thing. It was a neck thing. And like I said, they didn't finish the game. There's something going on with injuries, Casey. We've had a ton of injuries before we've even played a preseason. And there have been a lot of injuries that have came out just this week after 1 week. And I do remember your pop saying that he thinks that they're happening more because they're not actually practicing. It's more of like a walkthrough every day. They don't really hit. They wear the pad on the helmet. There's not really a lot of contact going on. I think in some ways I agree, but I think it depends on who it is. Like if it's Joe Flacco or whoever, which quarterbacks usually don't get hit anyways, but I'm using him because he's an older guy. If it's an older guy, probably a good thing. But a younger guy, maybe it is hurting him. Because when you get out there and do the real action, maybe your body is not prepared to take some of those hits or make those cuts. Like some of them. I do think there is a little bit of that there is a reason why the injuries are as high as they are.
But let me, I'll throw this out there. Is the Michael Jordan.
Okay.
He said he tried to make practices harder than the game.
Right.
Right? That way the game was easy. Football practices aren't ever harder than the game.
Never.
They're not at that level. So therefore, if you don't condition your body, your mind, your spirit, all different phases of yourself to really play in this on the gridiron, to me, there is an element to it. Just doesn't make sense that players they're in shape now. There's better sports medicine. There's better training. They're training year round.
Mm-hmm.
And there's more injuries than ever. It doesn't make sense. And what has changed? It's the softening of training camp and the preparation during the week. We're not going to put pads. There's only so many padded practices. Listen, risk is part of the sport. Yep. You knew that when you signed up. Mm-hmm. Okay. And for the money that these guys get paid, stop like the worried, if I get injured, I'm not going to get paid. There is an element to that. But if you're making a lot of fucking money. The bottom guy in the league makes over $600,000 a year. Now that's not a lot by league standards, but just normal living standards, that is a lot. You can play 1 year and set yourself up for life. I'm just saying. Literally, yes. And so, but there's this thing in the league where they practice with, they roll out these foam wheels and there's, that doesn't prepare you to get hit by Derrick Henry. Nope. Like, and it, I'm not saying go back to the 1970s training camp or anything like that. I think there's a happy medium in here, but you'll never get back to it because once the players got what they got in the CBA, they're never giving it up. Yep. You're right. Like, whenever I mean, again, I'm not super old, but 15 years ago when I was playing, we used to do the Oklahoma drill every freaking practice just to get your mind, just to get ready for practice. That was how we started. And now high schools don't even do it because it's too dangerous. Yeah, no, they won't do it. But Casey, there is an issue with how they practice. Now, I understand, the protection and stuff, and they have more protection. They have the best of the best, and they have some of the best insurance of anyone. They have the most money out of some of the sports. They literally can take care of themselves. Like you said, they knew the risk playing the sport going back to their high school days, right? It's a problem. And I think it is causing more injuries. They're just not ready. Yes, a lot of these players have played for 10 years. But 10 years ago, they were more competitive and more aggressive and more pads smacking around in practice than now. Half the time, they wear shorts. They don't even wear padded pants to be able to. Thigh pants, knee pads, kidney pads, tailbone pads. There's nothing. It's just shorts, shoulder pads, and a helmet. And then you have another
padded helmet on top of it to protect your head even more. Like that's probably the one thing I do agree. I'm okay with that padded thing on the helmet because obviously your head needs to be protected the most, but it shouldn't stop you from just completely avoiding contact. Like
Yeah,
we've got to.
I don't have a
There's got to.
problem with that. Matter of fact, guys can have the choice to wear that in games, and there was guys wearing it in games. And unless the shot was like a close up of the guy, because they would put like the helmet cover on it. It's kind of like Dana Stubblefield back day having the second layer that was Velcro on.
Yeah.
Like you don't notice it on the field. So if they want to wear those, I don't have a problem with that. But yeah, it's something in the training. It's something in, you know, and I think there's an element to them being bigger and faster and stronger, hitting each other all the time. I mean, you know, in the 70s, Jason Witten would have been, an offensive lineman, so.
Yeah. I want them to somewhat go back to, like you said, maybe not. I'm not telling them to pull out the Oklahoma drill, even though I think that would be fun to still watch if somebody did that. But I wouldn't expect that. But I think more contact within practice should be done to prepare you for a full NFL season. Like, I mean, either I'm right or wrong here, Casey, but your spring training off season, or I'm not even going to go off season, I'm going to say spring training is to get your body with the contact part ready. Or if you're not doing no contact, then there's no time, because really from preseason till December, January, February, it's season. Like there is no time to prepare for a contact sport.
Yeah.
That's what the off season is, to take care of your body, get it right, give it a break. But when spring training starts and you can put them pads on,
training camp, spring training.
I mean, yeah, training camp, yeah. Like that spring training, they don't even do that in the NFL. That's for college. But yeah, they need to bring some of it back, because I think it will help with maybe not having so many injuries.
But they ain't going to get it back because the players got it in that CBA a few years ago. And it's not going to happen. They wanted more days off, more of this, more of that.
Yeah.
And, it's just like in the NBA, load management bullshit.
So stupid.
It just, I don't know. And no one, I don't think really anyone in the NFL is a load management thing on game day. But practices, training camp, things of that nature, I think some of the guys do, especially ones who know their spot's guaranteed. They may take it a little easy. But and if you're one of these players, the smartest thing you can do is take out an insurance policy on yourself. Like, seriously, like take out a $2 million, $5 million insurance policy on yourself. So you've seen this, college kids do this, like kids that have gone back for like their senior year of football or something. They'll take out a $2-3 million insurance policy. So if they do get hurt, they get paid out of that, and they didn't screw themselves for the rest of their lives financially. So
yeah, I agree.
I just think a lot of them don't do it.
So did you, I mean, I know you say you didn't watch or anything, but did you go back and look? Was there any of these rookie quarterbacks that kind of impressed you, or a rookie or a player that impressed you in preseason so far, or even defensively, anyone? Was there anyone out there that kind of just maybe going back and looking at stats or how they did? Was there anyone that kind of impressed you?
No, I mean, I think some people might expect to say Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur did what he was supposed to do, which now it sounds like he's hurt again, or
he is
hurt, and he's going to miss Saturday, which I think is the worst thing for him. But no, there wasn't much out there. I mean, a lot of teams didn't play their guys. I thought, yeah, no, nothing really stood out.
Well, I mean, I did go and watch some highlights, and I was mainly looking at the quarterback because I was intrigued on Scatterboot, but he's hurt, so he didn't play. Jackson Dart, though, did look good. I was actually surprised. I know it's preseason, but it's the NFL. He's still playing against NFL caliber players. I think he looked pretty good. He was efficient. He just looked good. He when you look at Eli Manning, and let's just be real, you can even say Peyton. When you just physically look at them, they don't look like they can play ball, but we know they can. Right? It's proven they've won Super Bowls, etc. Like, they're not Arch, is where I'm saying. They didn't have that athletic ability like Arch had, and then their dad. But they had enough athletic ability to be great Hall of Fame quarterbacks. I'm not knocking them. I love them both. But when you look at, they fit the system. Eli fit that Giants. He was a giant. You know what I mean? That's what I get from Jackson Dart. Except he is on the more athletic side. But he looks like a giant to me. Like, he looks like he should be there. He looked good. Really, all of them good. Winston looked good. Russell looked good, but Jackson Dart played the most, and I think he looked really good for his first preseason game. Cam Ward, I don't know what it is about him, but even he didn't play a ton. But on his first pass, Casey, he's man, I don't know. Maybe you should go back and look at this and tell me if you see this. He looks like he is the most comfortable quarterback I've ever seen in a pocket. Like, ever. He was that way at Miami. He was that way at Washington. He just sits there, and he doesn't seem ever nervous to be in the pocket. And that's the way it looked even in Tennessee that first game. His first pass was 20-something yards down the field to Ridley. It looked like he was just sitting there comfortable, waiting, reading, and then he threw. I was impressed because I didn't think we were going to see that comfortability of being in the pocket, even in the NFL, and he's on Tennessee, if you know what I mean. But he looked good still. Very briefly played. I thought he played well. Shador did look good. Everyone's hating on him. I mean, but like you said, he did what he was supposed to do. I thought he looked pretty good. But the one to me was Jalen Milroe. He ran the ball phenomenally. He made some good throws. Casey, this may be a really good, better rookie class than what we thought. Now, again, I don't know how many of them are going to play, but when you've looked at past, the class, not a player, but the class, I think this one could be okay. I think they all looked good week one. Again, I know we're preseason. I know we're not playing the best of the best, but I think Jalen Milroe is going to be really good in the NFL at some point. I think he will be able to run in the NFL like he did in Alabama.
Yeah, maybe. Back to Cam Ward, I did just go back and I looked at his first two passes were incomplete. His first completion was like 27 yards. The Milroe thing, I don't know. I'm not he's a heck of an athlete. You can't take that away from him. But running in this league gets you hurt.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
I know he's a freakish athlete. He has a Cam Newton-ish body. Not as big as Cam, but in that realm.
I mean, look at Anthony Richardson. Look how hurt his first year because he ran a lot.
So if you can't throw from the pockets or the extended pockets accurately often, and often being 65% and above, you're going to struggle. And I just wonder with his mechanics and where he's, how he's played at Alabama and really his whole career, Can he make that switch? That is the big question on Milroe.
You know where he's from, right?
He is from the place you're about to tell me.
Katy, Texas.
No, well, there you go.
I didn't know if you knew that or not, but yeah, he's
Nah,
from Katy.
I mean, and no shocker, another quarterback athlete that doesn't go to Texas.
They claim we don't have a lot here, but we really do. Yeah, I mean, I think Lamar Jackson has been the most successful, but also I think Casey. I don't think the problem with them is running. It's can you protect yourself, as in instead of trying to run somebody over, because if you see like Anthony Richardson when he runs, he will want to run somebody over. Which I mean, Cam Newton did the same thing, but Cam was 6'5", 6'6", 250.
Yeah,
maybe
like 250,
somewhere
260. Like
he was big,
built
so
like a linebacker.
So I mean, yeah, he could do that, but I think if you can learn to protect your body, as in sliding, running out of bounds, doing those things, it doesn't make you any less of a football player. It just makes you actually a smart football player because you're not getting hurt. I just felt he looked good in that Seahawks system. They were actually had run plays for him. It's I mean, outside of really Lamar Jackson, and I don't even really know if sometimes it's an actual run play, but they had an actual they were doing option reads with him the other night, which I have not seen in a while, if not forever, in the NFL. Again, I know it's preseason, but
I think you've seen that with Jalen Hurts. I think you've seen it with Josh Allen. Those are your other running quarterbacks.
See, Josh Allen's another one where I think he's gotten better at protecting himself over the years. Because in the beginning, I mean, I know he's big, but even in the very beginning of his career, he was trying to run a bunch of people over. Which I mean, he's big. Josh Allen's a big guy. Don't get me wrong.
Thank you for getting a Josh Allen fact correct.
Which one?
The one you just stated.
Oh yeah, no.
My normal ball-headed compadre gets them all wrong.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm curious to see if he does build that quarterback mixture up. Maybe give us that actual throwing. Like you said, I think if he can throw 65% or more of the time, I think him running the ball is okay. Having them run plays. But if that's what he wants to do, then Casey, why don't he just go play running back? Because he can do it. He could probably start in the NFL as a running back. I know that sounds really.
You want to know why? Money. That's why.
Well, hey, I mean, I think the money is coming for running backs. I think the running back.
I think this is an anomaly.
Really?
Outside of Saquon and Derrick Henry, name me the third best back in the league.
I can't
Exactly.
Scatterboo.
Oh, stop it. Stop it.
Hey, you don't think he can be good in the NFL? Seriously?
I just don't think his game translates very well. I think if he was a fullback, Mike Oslott type of guy, but that's not him.
See, is fullback? I mean, let's just be serious about the game of football. Is fullback? I mean, I know on paper is a position, but the fullback is just another tight end in the league. Am I right or wrong? Seriously.
Generally, now, yes.
That's what I'm talking about. In 2025, now let's go back 10 years ago. I would just even go back 10 years ago. The fullback was big because you were doing a lot of it was under center, and the fullback, I mean, was a key piece. Like Mike Allstott was the greatest fullback ever, in my opinion. One of the best at fullback. But when I think of a fullback now, I think of a tight end. He can block.
I mean, you have a couple. You have Juszczyk, and I view him more as kind of an H-back versus a fullback. There's a couple in the league that you would qualify as fullback, but that's. I mean, you want to qualify a dead position. It is. I would say yes. It's
tight end. I do love the fullback position, though. I think you've got to be one of the most aggressive, aggressive big man there are out there because
That's also another reason why I don't think anyone will ever break Emmett's rushing record. Because you don't have a dude just knocking dudes out of the way like Moose Johnson.
No, even Casey, even like look at some of the plays some of these NFL teams run. Sometimes there's a lineman there. It's not even a fullback anymore. They just put another lineman there. I don't blame them. Why not put a lineman there?
They don't move that well.
Well, they don't move that well, and really, you're just throwing a big body at someone. They're not really knocking them out. They're just rolling them out, literally rolling them. Because by the time they get there, they're probably going to the secondary because they didn't get there fast enough to get the linebacker. Anyways, they're let's just call them a rollback. Just got to roll them out the way.
Right. Yeah. Pretty much.
All right. So yeah, those were kind of my takeaways from preseason week 1. Outside of that, no one else really played. Dallas, I did watch Dallas. Milton looked terrible to start off, but he got a little better once the game got along. Obviously, they didn't win, but nobody played either. Literally, none of the starters played. So it went as expected. I don't care if they win the preseason or not. I just hope when the season comes, we've paid Micah and we're healthy to at least start the season. We can at least say that. Have you seen the top 25 college football rankings?
Yes, we talked about them before the AP came out.
Okay, well here's the official,
which is pretty much the same.
Pretty much the same. In your opinion, is anyone too high or
Texas.
too low? They're too high?
You have a quarterback who's hardly played it down.
Oh my God! Here we go.
I'm
okay.
Just before you freak out.
No. I think it's fair. It's fair.
It's going to be really, really freaking good. But
that's fair.
He hasn't done anything yet. When you got Penn State there with a proven quarterback, and honestly, this is probably the best Penn State team since they won the championship. I think last time they won was like 86, somewhere around there, like when I was born.
I don't disagree with Penn State being one. Okay? I don't. I think Penn State has everything that they need, which I think Texas it does too. But like you said, Penn State has the proven quarterback. They have Katron Allen, the running back, and they have another one that came in. So they have the pieces. Obviously, the defense is always Penn State defense, right? So I agree with that. Now maybe it's because I have seen Arch play. Have I seen him play against a big school? No, I've seen him play against UTSA and those schools. So yeah, he should look good. I've seen him. The biggest school he's played against is Mississippi State, and of course he should win because Mississippi State stinks. Okay. They haven't been good since Dak was there, if that tells you anything. I'm not going to say they're too high, but I wouldn't be mad if they were number 2 either. But Ohio State's kind of in the same boat. Their quarterback's kind of unknown. I don't even know I don't know a quarterback on their roster.
Ohio State's, whereas my brethren from the that are from there would say the Ohio State. They lost a lot.
They did.
And I know Ohio State normally just reloads, but you lost your number 1 receiver. You lost.
Well, they still have Jeremiah Smith, which is phenomenal.
They lost Ibuka.
Emeka Ibuka or whatever his name is. Yeah.
And you had, and the year before that, you had Harrison Jr. So
yep.
You've lost receivers over the last couple of years. You lost both running backs this past year. A different quarterback. It's 3 may be a little high, and I also Clemson went 10-4 last year.
I'll tell you this though.
Yeah.
Clemson's going to be the real deal. This is probably the best team since Trevor Lawrence's team. since they've won it last. The defensive front is going to be one of the best in the nation. I think their question isn't Cade Klubnik, the quarterback. I think he's going to be in the running for Heisman. I think he's that good. Again, he's from Texas. Again, another Texas quarterback. I think their question is going to be the running back position because they lost Phil Mafia. Obviously, he's in Dallas now. So kind of what they do there. But I actually don't think Clemson is too high. I know that sounds crazy at 4, but I think they're legit contenders this year. I maybe would have put them behind Georgia. I mean, if Georgia plays Clemson right now, I think Georgia wins. I don't know, though. That's kind of their quarterback's another question mark. And Gunnar Stockton.
I think Notre Dame should be above both of them.
Really?
I do. So,
I don't even think Notre Dame should be in the top 25.
Well, then we have come to an impasse because I think.
And I'll tell you why. Let me tell you why. I'll just real quick. Because they can't even play in a conference. That's why.
I knew you were going with that.
Come on.
Listen, I don't. I think they should be in a conference, but hey, they print money at Notre Dame, and that's
they do. I know they do. But they should listen. If the Notre Dame if they want to stop the hate, go join the ACC because you'll still win it. All you got to do is beat Clemson. That's it. And I mean maybe North Carolina now with that whole situation, but like join something. You're in the ACC and everything else. Why not just join the ACC in football? But they've said they'll never join. I mean, stay independent. I know they've got bukus of money, but I just want to see them in a conference because I want to see them to start playing people. Like I feel like they get a cakewalk every year. Respectfully. I love Marcus Freeman. I think he's a great coach. I love him as a coach. And Notre Dame is always up there every year. I obviously I'm joking. I think they should be in the top 25, but because of the non-conference, I don't think they should be in the top 25 because of
if you look at their schedule this year, they play A&M.
First game, right?
Yep. They play Arkansas. They play Boise. They play USC, who they play.
Boise shouldn't be on here either. I can't believe they're still on here.
Pitt. They play Stanford. And they got a couple other that, I don't know how Syracuse is going to be or Boston College. Of course, they play Navy every year as well.
Yeah. I know they play some teams and they actually play an Arkansas team and those are some teams they didn't play last year.
Oh, no, they don't open up with A&M. They open up with Miami.
Oh, that's right. They do play Miami.
They have 2 top 20 teams in their first 2 games.
Yeah. So, we'll see with that. Yeah. I like Notre Dame. It's not that I don't like them. I just don't like how
I would also say Arizona State. I'd say they don't need to be in the top 25.
Man,
I think that was a fluke last year.
You think so?
I do. I think they're going to.
How do you feel about Illinois at number 12?
Yeah, that's a little high too. I'd put the Gamecocks above them.
I'd put the Gamecocks. First of all, Casey, you're gonna why the hell is Michigan number 14? Is it because they beat Ohio State every year? Michigan
beat them last year.
Michigan beat them last year. Michigan's beat Ohio State 5 years in a row.
Let me look this up.
Yeah, Michigan is the only team they lost to last year. It was the last game of the season. Look it up.
I am looking at it.
They beat them. They beat them the last 5 years, if I'm right. Because everybody was questioning Ohio State going into the playoffs because they got beat by Michigan in their last game, and they didn't get to. If I'm correct, they didn't get to play for the Big Ten title. It was Oregon. And I can't remember who it was.
Oh yeah, they do. They lost 10-13.
Yeah, it was a low ball game. It was a boring game. It was a defensive game. But Michigan's too high. Florida should be higher than them. I know they're only at 15, but I don't know. I'm good with the top 10. After the top 10, I really question this. And maybe it's because, Arizona State, okay, yeah, you went to the college football playoff. Yeah, you almost beat Texas. People claim that you should have beat Texas, but whatever. You didn't beat Texas. The quarterback is great, Levitt. But I agree. Okay, so they shouldn't be in the top 25. Illinois was good because of the quarterback who was at Ohio State. And what was his name? He plays for who now in the NFL? Can't remember his name. But he was actually at Ohio State. Not last year, the year before. Not that matters. But South Carolina, I think South Carolina should be top 10. Lenore Sellers and Stewart, that defensive end, are freaking. I think they continue how they finished last year. If you remember, they were like, I think 500 or maybe a few games above, and then like they just ran the table the last, I don't know how many games it was. I don't think Michigan's going to be very good. I don't expect them to be in the top 25 too long, unless they figured out their quarterback situation. What is it about Michigan? They, even J.J. McCarthy, I mean, he was a good quarterback, maybe, but who was their actual last good quarterback? It's been a while. They played like 3 different quarterbacks last year. So I think their question mark is offensively is like who can be the leader of the offense. They've always had good running backs. The defense has always been pretty good. And then 15, you got Florida. You got DJ Lagway, again, another Texas quarterback out of Texas. He was a freshman last year, played when the quarterback got hurt. So kind of what's his first year going to be like as a starter? I expect this Florida team to actually be really good this year, competing in the SEC, not kind of in the back of the leaderboard there. They actually finished the year off beating a couple good teams last year, so you kind of saw something coming. SMU, man, I hated when they had to play against Penn State in the playoffs. That went exactly as we expected. Nobody, I think I might have even said they could have maybe possibly win, but I don't know. Again, I mean, it's a Texas school.
The thing about SMU, one, that was a pretty damn impressive first year.
Oh, it was
in the ACC. And I think they might be a playoff team again this year. I think OU is a dumpster fire.
I agree.
I think A&M is even though it's my alma mater, I think a little schizophrenic at times.
Do you think they could actually compete for the SEC this year? Like, I mean, I think they're going to be better than people think. I just don't know if they're going to be as good as the.
I think A&M can make the college football playoff. I don't know about winning the SEC or even that side of the SEC to play for it. But I think they have enough talent. Reese at quarterback is pretty dynamic.
Yes. Got Terry Bussey and all them running backs that you have, which they're actually going to be healthy.
Levant.
Yeah.
Is it Bill? No, it's not Bill. I'm brain farting.
They have a million running backs and they're all good. So
and their top running back was hurt towards the end of the year. So I think A&M can make the college football playoffs. The rest of these are kind of take it or leave it. Tennessee took a step back.
Yes.
Boise
is
will never get it done. Iowa State is Iowa State. I mean, what do you go here? But you mentioned the Michigan quarterbacks. Well, you're telling me the litany of quarterbacks that have gone through Michigan, like Chad Henne, Denard Robinson, Drew
Wait.
Henson, Brian Greasy, and Ryan Mallett, Elvis Gerback. All right.
Wait, didn't Tom Brady play there?
Tom Brady, but he played, but he didn't play. Jim Harbaugh played there. Benny
That's what I'm saying,
Friedman,
though.
Bob Timberlake, Justin's grandfather. Todd Collins.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying, though. Like, those are, I mean, I'm not calling any of them old.
James Joy Miller.
There's
It's not quarterback you.
No, it ain't running back you, but they always produce running backs, and they always have good defense. I can't think of
how to produce defensive linemen that are bust for the Cowboys. Hashtag Taco and Mozzie.
Yeah, I mean, I think their defensive tackle that got drafted this year may be okay, maybe.
Yeah, I was screaming, "Do not take him."
I do want to ask you about one team on here, and that's Indiana. Do you think they can repeat what they did last year? Going, you don't think so?
No, it's Indiana.
Well,
It's like Cincinnati a few years ago. Once in a while, you're going to get a team. And, yeah, they're in the Big Ten. The competition is a little better than what Cincinnati was playing. But, man, it's Indiana. Leave me with that. Don't bother me like a gnat at a barbecue with that garbage.
I'm giving them 8 wins. I think that's respectful.
That doesn't get it done, does it?
Okay, maybe I give them 10. Okay, being serious, I really do like the team.
Yeah.
I think it's the coach for me. I think the culture can put them at potentially repeating the season from last year, which doesn't do much. It just gets you to, get you to the playoff and get you beat. That's what it does.
Tell me this. They're like, clear your mind. Close your eyes, Dustin. Close your eyes. Clear
Eyes
your
are
mind.
closed.
All right. When I say Indiana University, what sport first pops into your head?
Basketball.
Thank you. It's a basketball school. It's a basketball school. Don't give me this Indiana football stuff.
Okay.
There's not name one team on here that is more known for their basketball program that doesn't start with an I.
Is Michigan close to that? No?
No. Michigan, they never won a national championship just because they had the Fad Five one time.
No, I know. Okay, I mean, I guess you're right. I can't think of anybody else on here that's like
other than like Illinois.
I definitely don't think. I don't even think football or basketball with them. I think soccer.
I think Deron Williams and that crew, but
I'm obviously joking, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think we all thought that last year, and I think they surprised us. Now, again, I think it was just the culture change, the coach change. He changed the atmosphere in Indiana, kind of like how people say Prime did in Colorado. He changed the culture, changed the atmosphere.
Well, at the end of the day, you got to have talent to win. And that's a lesson I learned in my first year of coaching, because I used to be the dude who said, hey, it's all team chemistry, number one attribute of the team. Then I started asking coaches that have been coaching for decades, and they said, Casey, the number one thing you need to win is talent. And when you look at Indiana University compared to all these other teams, they don't have the same amount of talent. They have some talent, but they don't have the same amount. And at the end of the day, talent is going to win, because all these teams work hard, like, work ethic, or what is it? Hard work beats talent that doesn't work hard, or whatever, or whatever it is. It's true, but all these teams work hard. They're all extremely talented. And so it just becomes a level of talent at a certain point. And Indiana ain't got it. Sorry, Hoosier Nation.
Also, you got to have this too nowadays. And
you gotta have
I'm not saying they don't have any, but I'm saying they don't have what they don't have what Notre Dame, what Texas, Ohio State, Georgia. They don't have that. They just don't. But I think another thing last year as well, and I mean, this is probably kudos more to the coach, is the reason they had more talent than they've probably ever had was because he brought them all over from James Madison, from where he was at. So, I mean, not saying he can't recruit, but I'm just saying when he left James Madison to come to Indiana, he said, "Hey, come on, y'all come in with me. We're gonna go from James Madison to Indiana.
So,
Maybe
you
I
know, a
can
team
get
that's not on here that I think is interesting is USC. And
come on now."
is Lincoln right? No, I'm not saying they should be on here.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying I just think it's an interesting thing to talk about. Is Lincoln Riley in the hot seat at USC? Because his buyout is $80 million. So
let me tell you who should be in the hot seat at USC. Whoever the hell that defense coordinator is, because it's flipping trash.
He fired him during the season last year, or during Caleb Williams' year.
They need to fire him again.
So I just don't know how you can't be relevant as USC with all the talent in California and all the money that's at USC.
Casey, I seriously believe it. I think they always have offensive weapons. You know who they remind me of? They remind me of the Bengals. They have all this talent and all this stuff on offense, and they ain't got shit on defense. Literally, they have nothing on defense. That's how USC is. They have when they had Caleb Williams and they had all that talent, they had zero defense.
Yeah, the defense is awful. And when they were winning championships with Bush and Leinart and Pete Carroll, they had good defenses. They had great defenses there.
Yes, they did. I mean, it seemed like Miami.
They were putting dudes in the league left and right on defense. I mean,
yeah. Well, I mean, the same thing with Miami, the Hurricanes.
That's a different subject. This should be a subject for another day. The greatest college football team of all time, because I think that early 2000s Miami team, it was 2001, 2002, something like that.
Insane.
I think that is the best college football team of all time.
Oh no, man! That Florida team was good. Tim Tebow,
dude. I can just name the running backs: Clinton Portis, Willis McGahee, and Frank Gore, all in the same backfield. Willis McGahee ran down on punt coverage.
Yeah,
that's how much talent that. Jonathan Vilma, Kellen Winslow, Jeremy Shockey.
I know they were good. I mean,
I think
they weren't good. They were.
Reed.
Yeah,
like I said, it's a different subject for a different day that we are not prepared for.
But all I was going to say is Miami is the same way as USC. They have phenomenal offensive talent, but you can't stop no one. That's why Illinois beat them last year, and they didn't get into the Big Ten championship game because they got beat because Cam Ward couldn't score 60 points, and that's how I'll end that. Last thing I had, Casey, I mean, I don't know if you're into this. I'm getting more and more into it every week. We have UFC 319 this weekend. I am going to be watching because it is going to be really good. You have the middleweight championship with Duplessis and Chimaev. And
I really thought you were going to say the WNBA.
No, sorry. Not the WNBA. Seriously, this will be a good fight. It's one of those where you have a guy with the beard on the left. That's Chimaev. He's I don't know what they classify themselves as in like where they're from.
I don't know, but he looks like an elf. He looks like he's from the Middle Earth out of the Lord of the Rings. Or the little goat dude from The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Saying this about a dude who I know could kick my ass too.
So he can knock you out, but his game's on the ground. He wants to wrestle you. Obviously, with it being MMA, UFC, you can pretty much do whatever besides kick him in the genitals. That's all you can't do, or poke him in the eye. Everything else is pretty legal.
Or hit him in the back of the head.
You can do that.
No, you couldn't do that in the back.
You could do it with your elbow. You can't punch him, but
that's
you can.
What I meant.
You can't punch him in the back of the head, but yeah. So he's more of your wrestling. He wants to take you down. He wants to wear you down, and he wants to choke you out. But he can knock you out. Where Duplessis is kind of both. He's trying to knock you out, to wear you out, to choke you out. So kind of when you look at it, it's like, can he stop Chimaev from taking him down to wear him out, to submit him? And then can Chimaev not get knocked out or not get wore down enough to where it does go to a wrestling match, he's too tired and he gets choked out? It's kind of where you're at with this. This is the fight. I think it's going to be a good fight. Obviously, it's 5 rounds. I do not see it going 5. I just don't. It's kind of hard for me to pick a winner because I think they both, like, when you look at the match and you look everything on paper, well, obviously it's paper. I mean, they're technically both undefeated in the UFC. They haven't been beat. So someone's going to take that first L. And I don't know who it is.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting fight. They say styles make fights, and I think you have a stylistic complementary fight here.
Yes, you do.
For these other guys, I'm going to tell you right now, just based on these pictures, Elliott and Green are getting knocked out. All right? Like, I'm just...
Yeah, yes. No,
like, Green does not look like he's ever wore UFC gloves before in his life. Okay? And the Elliott guy over here on the other side, that Asian dude, Azraka,
about to wear him out.
Yeah, he's going to knock him out. And it's going to be with a twisting elbow or something like that he never saw coming. But, yeah, I think it's going to be a good championship fight. Yeah, I think the whole card is pretty solid. I think.
Yeah, it is a pretty solid card. Page over here, this fight at the top, he's really good. I think he's going to win this fight, but this Canadian guy is like up and coming, and he's really good too. This whole card's really good, actually. I think it's going to be a good card. But I always like to pick winners of the main event fight. Man, give me the new champion. Let's make it interesting. I'm going to go with Chimaev with a submission, a rear naked chokehold.
All right.
Or an armbar. One of those two.
Okay. Well, I got tails, Chimaev, heads, Duplessis. Let's see what it is. It is heads, Duplessis. I don't know how you say it.
It's Duplessis.
Duplessis. He's got the cauliflower ears. That means he's used to fighting. I think the phone has spoken. It's going to be him.
All right.
I don't care how he wins.
Well, that's the thing with him. Well, really, both of them, they really can win either way. But I think one prefer. I don't know. They've both submitted. They've both knocked out. But yeah, I don't know. It's going to be a good fight, though.
Life advice. If you're ever out there and you're feeling like you're a big dude and you feel like you're going to fight someone, look at their ears first. If they got cauliflower
ears, don't mess with them.
Don't just shut the hell up and walk away.
You know what's really funny, Casey? I've been watching a lot of UFC in general lately, like just YouTube, whatever. And of course, when I get on my YouTube, it was last week when I was sick off and was trying to recover. So when I clicked on my YouTube, the first thing that came up was street fighters versus UFC fighters. Okay. And if you know who Nate Diaz is, I'm assuming you probably do.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like he could even fight in the UFC, respectfully. Okay. And I've actually watched a lot of his fights recently. The dude can scrap. I mean, he's in the UFC for a reason. He's been a champion for a reason. But this guy tried to fight him, okay, out in the street. And Nate Diaz didn't even throw down with him. He just put him to sleep. He didn't even go that route because I guess he thought it was better for the guy, because I guess he probably would have killed him. But yeah, the two things you don't do, Casey, you don't fight them in the street and don't break into their house, because you're going to get like severely hurt.
And don't break into my house. You'll get shot.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I'm not wasting my time with all the grappling and homoerotic
I got all energy
wrestling.
for that.
I'll just shoot you. So UFC should be a good card.
Yeah,
and,
I think it's gonna be a great card. And by the
getting
way, the big UFC news, if you don't know, they're moving to Paramount Plus and CBS 2026. I'm happy about that, Casey, because I am one of those persons where I will spend $80 to watch a main event that could either last 25 minutes or last 25 seconds. So now that is gone. You only have to have a subscription going forward. It doesn't matter what it is. If it's $20 a month, it's worth it, because I would rather pay $20 a month for a year than to pay $80 about 6 times a year. Do the math. But that is also big news for the UFC, because I mean, for one, I'm looking at it this way. I feel like ESPN knew they were losing out on UFC, because obviously they signed the WWE, right? So they've got to find their replacement. I think the person the company that gets hurt the most here is probably Netflix, because now they have no wrestling or nothing anymore. It's moving to ESPN. And this is related in sports, but how does a Netflix recover from that? Let me tell you how they recover. If you have Netflix, the bill's about to go up. They about to raise our bill, right? How else can you get faster money and
I mean, you raise it too much more, you're gonna lose subscribers. I mean,
that's true. I mean, I'll be one of them.
Yeah, it seems like the sports leagues ultimately, they're going to be trading places here and there and on different services and platforms, whoever gives them the best deal. But in the grand scheme of things, a lot of this is what a lot of people don't know is eventually teams are going to be in the business of their own network, of their own content. The Yankees were the first to do it. The Rangers have the Rangers Sports Network. The Stars have their Victory Plus, which is free on delivery. And that's going to end up being the model. Honestly, I think Brad Alberts, who is the president of the Dallas Stars, they came out with the deal, the first of its kind. Victory Plus being free to download, free to watch the games, and it's on that company that they developed the app with to find marketing and make a profit, and then they split the profits with the team. And so, and when you do a digital streaming like that in an app, if you think traditional television, like you watch, the Cowboy game on with your antenna or whatever, maybe different parts of the country, you can do a different ad. But there's generally only so many spots. But you do it digitally on an app, I can sell the same time slot 60, 70, 100,000 times over. Because it's going to be based on my search history, my cookies and my phone or on my TV or whatever on my computer. And, so for example, if we're both watching the Dallas Stars and you've been looking for a, Mazda Miata for some reason, and I'm looking for a Dodge Ram, you're going to see an ad for a Miata and I'm going to see an ad for the Ram. And I can make money off that same time slot. So now I can sell that same time slot, even different products and services, 100 times over. instead of just being able to sell traditionally one time slot for advertising when it comes to sports. So I think teams are going to start seeing what the Stars and the Rain. Now the Rangers, you pay $100 for the season, and you get all theirs. But they there's that money, and then it's the same principle because the same company developed the app as the Victory Plus app. And so, man, I think teams are going to end up going that way because I think ultimately they're going to be able to make more money.
More money, and they know the fans they're going to buy it if they want to watch their team.
Well, and the fans are happy because you think about it, especially when you're thinking about the local fans. You had the issue a few years ago in North Texas with Bally Sports where you couldn't see any of your local teams.
Yep.
And
I
so
remember.
That's why the Stars and the Rangers did that originally. Was once they got out of Bally Sports, they were like, well, how do we deliver our product? Because local fans don't want to pay to see their teams. Like there ain't no one in Dallas, ain't no one in Cincinnati wants to pay to see the Cincinnati Bengals on television.
Right. You should be able to watch it for free.
You should be able to watch your local teams free on a delivery, and then you get them in that local market. I mean, there's a ton of potential there, and I met the guy who helped develop this app, and I mean, they're wanting to go into high school sports and school districts, and you can localize ads to that particular region and advertise that way, and they split the profits with the school district 60-40. And I'm like, trust me, man, this is big time stuff being developed in the world of apps and streaming games. I know that company wants to start with next year's UIL football playoffs. In the
that'd be huge because I mean, not to cut you off, but I'm big into high school sports, especially football, and I watch a lot of college football. And every year I sit there all weekend from Thursday night, Friday, and I watch every state game, no matter who's playing. I watch every year. I've been doing it since I was 18. I love watching it. And every year it seems like there's a new app to watch the state championship games on. And it's frustrating because last year was like one of the first years I had to pay. When they was Bally, I didn't have to pay. Now I've got to pay. I can't remember what it is now, but I love watching it. So, because there is an app called FHS or something like that, and that's the one I use during the playoffs, and I'll pay for it for that month or so, whatever, and then I'll watch the state games. But that's pretty cool because I'm a big fan of high school football. So I'm actually
and something I was telling the guy was like, you're telling me that if I'm an athletic director of a school district, that you're going to put together our app, you're going to stream our games, and it's up to you to find your advertisers, and whatever you find, you're splitting the profits with me 60-40. You damn right I'm doing that as a school district. Like,
that'd be stupid if they didn't.
I told the guy if I was an AD, I would have already signed a contract with you. Like, and here's the thing: I think a lot of school districts, a lot of athletic directors, are going to be hesitant on doing that because they just don't understand it. And if that guy from that company happens to come across this video, I'll be the guy that goes in the school districts and pitches this for you. All right, you just give me a base salary of like $50,000 and then a cut of the profits, like 1% of every deal I make.
Hey, if he watches this video, you hook him up. You give me something for the East Texas area. I promise you. I know some head coaches at some big schools. I can get you in, and they will make us all a little money. But Casey, hey man, I want to say this. Thanks for hopping on. Obviously, late notice, my friend. It was good to be. It was good to be back. It did not feel like I was off for a week, but I did miss 2 shows. But it was good to be back. Back into the swing of things. Of course, you guys are on tomorrow, 7 p.m.
We are.
Hopefully, your dad doesn't piss you off this week, and you have to.
I probably overreacted a little bit. But
It
he
was
was
pretty
being a little
funny.
childish, I will say that.
Yeah, that was.
Because
I was watching.
because we had some segments we want to get to. My dad has a new segment called "Making the Most of Your Moment," which we haven't gotten to yet. And I didn't get to do the whiskey of the week. And at the end of the day, father son, that's what makes it entertaining. I texted him right after. I was like, "I'm good. I love you," and it's all good theater. And it just when he doesn't want to admit that he's wrong, it really irks me, especially when it comes. I mean, he's turned me into a default like Josh Allen defender because he just won't admit it. It took him 16 weeks last year to admit he was a top 5 quarterback, and then he wants to say he was trying to make the point. We were having this talk or he tried to make the saying that most quarterbacks do worse their sophomore season, and I was like, no, they don't. And he started naming names, and he named Josh Allen. So I went and looked at the stats. I'm like, you're wrong. He did much better his sophomore season. And generally, the idea is they have more experience. They do better their sophomore season.
Right.
And I looked up the top 10 rookie seasons of all time. And then I looked at their stats the year after. And it was 50-50 on how they did. And even some of the guys he mentioned, it was 50-50. He tried to look at and then he tried to rephrase on what he said and stuff like, nah, man, that's not what you said. But it's all good. It's all good. So it should be a good show tomorrow. We're excited. I know we're developing a couple things on our end because he can make apps and websites and stuff. So I have a feeling we already bought the domain ontimesportstalk.org. So that's not up and running yet. Don't try to search it right now, but it is on the way, and that'll be one of the primary places you find us to stream. So once we get it up and rolling.
Well, that's awesome, man. Well, what do you want to leave everybody with tonight?
Don't piss into the wind. It only leads to bad things. That's all I got.
I'm going to leave with Jerry Jones. You're still pissing me the fuck off. Can you please sign Micah Parsons? God dang it, man.
Speaking of pissing into the wind.
You're making me cuss on my network and my show that I try not to cuss on because you're pissing me
off.
off.
Family-friendly show.
Well, he's turning me into an unfamily-friendly person because he won't do the damn right thing.
Well,
anyways,
hold on. Let's not leave it. I don't know if you saw this on our show. Are we looking this at strictly from a fan and Micah's perspective? You look at this from ownership. They have them under contract for this year, and they can franchise them for 2 more years. So you really have them under control for 3 years. So as the owner, I have you for 3 years where you're going to make a lot of money those 3 years. Why do I need to sign you right now?
Well, they don't need to sign him.
I'm just throwing that out.
Okay.
I still think Jerry Jones is stupid. But
here's where the problem is. He wants to be here. Let's just start there. He wants to be in a Cowboy uniform. He doesn't want to be nowhere else. So he's telling you, I'm committed to you. He just want to see a commitment back. Okay. He's not due for one, technically. But he's just letting you know, hey, I want to be here. Extend me. Every time he doesn't extend him, or every big contract that just got signed, he doesn't extend the price tag, just keeps doing this.
Yeah.
Keeps doing this.
And that's why I say he's stupid, because if he would have did it before Max Crosby, that would have been what, $35 million a year?
You could have saved. You could save, well, depending on where it ends, you could have been saving $10 million a year. But if you continue to wait, the next big up and coming defense player guess what? It's going to keep doing this. It's going to keep doing this. And then Micah's going to say, well, if this guy's making this, don't you think I should make this? I am one of the best in the. So I feel like the price tag is going to keep going up the longer he waits. That's where I'm at. And I mean, he wants to be here. He wants to be here. That's what bothers me is like, maybe I'm looking at this the wrong way. If you pay Dak that money, you're telling me that Micah doesn't deserve it. And I'm Jerry Jones. I'm like, we pay Dak $50 million a year, but Micah don't deserve whatever. Come on. Like, is Dak really better than Micah? Hell no. We all know that.
Well, he's in a more important position. It's harder to find a
More
franchise
important
quarterback than
I will agree. I will agree. The position is more important. But is Micah more important to the defense, or is Dak more important to the offense?
I want to say Dak's more important to the offense than Micah is the defense.
Do you think that defense would be worth a shit if he leaves? I don't think so.
It's going to suffer. You know, he's a top 5 defensive player in the league. You know, maybe top 10, and you know he's a top 3 pass rusher in the league, top 5 pass rusher, wherever you want to go with that.
I guess when you look at our quarterbacks, I mean, yeah, and we all harp on Dak, and I do. I'm one of them, but he's not. I'm not saying he's the worst quarterback. I know he's had injuries over the last few years, so it's really maybe this is his year to shine again. But I just know we need Micah on that defense to have success. I'm just going to say this year and years to come. Could we find another Micah? There's another one out there. I mean, Abdul Carter is one that could become that caliber. So, I mean, I just don't want to go see him play for someone else.
I'm not disagreeing with you, and I'm just playing a little bit of a different perspective. Why I'm putting that out there is if I am in that GM seat, okay, I mean, I would have done the deal in March, but I haven't had anyone talk about what are the cap numbers in the next 2 years, what are the franchise numbers in the next couple years, is that cheaper, is that going to be more, all that stuff factors into it. I just, it's kind of like, I got an issue with old Cam Hayward in Pittsburgh, saying he's not going to play. He wants a new deal. He said I was going to negotiate, even though I just signed my deal last year. He's like, I outplayed that number. And that's where I have an issue with this stuff when players say that crap. Because if you don't outperform that number, the owner can't come back and negotiate for something less. So that's where I get frustrated when players say that I think it's a BS argument. But Micah, he's a heart and soul. He is the best player on your defense. You should have taken care of him. Jerry Jones fumbled this one just like he did CD, just like he did Dak, just like he did Zeke. And the guys he has gotten done early, he's probably has a little buyer's remorse. Trayvon Diggs, tears his ACL last year. Jalen Smith didn't really totally work out after they gave him that money. But you have to have perspective on who the player is, on who you're signing.
Yep.
Micah Parsons is not Jalen Smith. He is not Trayvon Diggs. He's you just said you should sign him. I mean, it's as simple as that. And I agree with you. And if you're not going to, if you can't play this out 3 years. I know you have them under control, but you can't play it out 3 years.
No.
If you don't get him signed this year, you franchise tag him and then you trade. I think that's what you'd have to do because I think you'd be that disgruntled.
Yep.
And I think it'd be that much of a distraction to the rest of the team. So
yeah,
but I agree with you. He's being stupid.
Yep, what does your dad call it? Saying he's being a. What does your dad say? He kept saying it the other night on the show. What your dad calls him. He has a name for Jerry. Now I
I
can't
don't
think
know,
of
but he always says he's number one. I know that. You know what my favorite part of this football season is going to be having Sir George back on the show weekly and his reactions to the Cowboys. So I think Sir George is one of the best things about our show. And
Yeah.
B. Boach tomorrow night, by the way, is
Ooh.
angry. B. Boach is very upset.
Hell, he should be. The Rangers are sucking ass right now.
Yeah, after last night's game,
Hell, they lost today. Shit.
he was not happy, and even more not happy today. So
I need to come on there and ask him some questions on what the hell is going on.
I mean, you know what time we're on. So
I'm gonna catch it tomorrow. I got questions and I want good answers.
all right, my man.
All right. Appreciate everyone. Of course, real quick before we go, QR codes to the left and the right. One is for the Bearded Bros. The other one is for the network. Please come follow us on all of our social medias. Please like, subscribe to all of ours. We appreciate all the love and support. Casey and his dad will be on tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central. Saturday, got Saturday Smack Talk with Nick and Josh. And, of course, on Sunday, Bearded Bros are back.
Well,
Maybe bros, maybe bro. I don't know. Who knows?
what's the name of that Saturday show?
Saturday.
It
Smack
doesn't
Talk.
matter what the name of the show is. I'm sorry. I couldn't resist.
Oh, you got me, huh? The old rock. All right, everyone. We're out. See y'all later. Everybody have a good weekend. Be here tomorrow for KC and the Pops. Who knows what'll happen? You might be surprised.
Might.
Ah,